Krishnamurti, in dialogue with Dr. Alan W. Anderson. J. Krishnamurti was born in South India and educated in England. For the past 40 years, he has been speaking in the United States, Europe, India, Australia, and other parts of the world. From the outset of his life's work, he repudiated all connections with organized religions and ideologies and said that his only concern was to set men absolutely, unconditionally free. He is the author of many books, among them The Awakening of Intelligence, The Urgency of Change, Freedom from the Known, and The Flight of the Eagle. This is one of a series of dialogues between Krishnamurti and Dr. Alan W. Anderson, who is professor of religious studies at San Diego State University, where he teaches Indian and Chinese scriptures and the oracular tradition. Dr. Anderson, a published poet, received his degree from Columbia University and the Union Theological Seminary. He has been honored with a Distinguished Teaching Award from the California State Universities.
Krishnamurti, at the end of our last conversation, if I remember correctly, we were looking into the relationships among living and love and death. That is, we had just begun to when we had to bring our discussion to an end. I was hoping today that we might pursue this in terms of our continuing concern for the transformation of man.
As usual, sir, it's such a complex question, this living, what it means and what it actually is. And love, which we talked about the other day fairly in detail and rather closely. And also this enormous problem of death. Every religion has offered a comforting belief, a comforting ideas, hoping there will be a solution for the fear, sorrow, and all the things that are involved in it. So we ought, I think perhaps we should begin with what is living, and then go from there to love and death.
Good.
We must, shouldn't we actually look at what we call living now, what is taking place?
Yes.
What actually is going on, which we call existence, living, those two words to cover this whole field of man's endeavor to better himself. Not only in the technological world, but also psychologically. He wants to be different, he wants to be more than what he is, and so on. So when we look at it, in whatever country, in whatever race, or whatever religion they belong to, it is a matter of constant struggle. From the moment you are born, the moment you die, it is one battle. Not only in relationship with other human beings, however intimate or not intimate, but also economically, socially, morally. It is a vast battle. I think everyone agrees to that. I mean, that's obvious. The conflict, the struggle, the suffering, the pain, the frustrations, the agony, the despairs, the violence, the brutality, killing each, all that is what is actually going on. Spending 40, 50 years in an office in a factory, occasional holidays, for a month, and a wild kind of holidays, because the holidays are a reaction to their monotonous life.
Time out.
Time out, or whatever it's called. You see them all over Europe, Americans, going from museum to museum, looking at this, that, rushing about, and that is an escape from the monotony of their daily routine. And they go off to India, and there are, I believe, about 15,000 so-called hippies in various dresses, in various monasteries, in various cities, doing the most fantastic things, selling drugs, some of them, and putting on Indian clothes, dressing up as monks and all that. It's a kind of vast, romantic, sentimental escape from their daily, monotonous, routine life. That is what we call living. The battle in relations, the battle in business, in economic environment. It is a constant struggle.
What you've said seems to be ingrained into the grasp of this living itself. We have a saying, life is a battle. We interpret it in terms of what you've said.
But and nobody seems to say, why should it be that way? And we have all accepted it. We say, yes, that is part of our existence. If we don't struggle, we are destroyed. It's part of our natural inheritance. From the animal, we see how it struggles. So we are part of the animal, part of the ape, and we must go on struggling, struggling, struggling. We have never said, is this right? Is this the way to live? Is this the way to behave, to appreciate the beauty of living?
The usual question turns on how to engage the battle more effectively.
Effectively, successfully, with least harm, with least strain, with least heart failure, and so on.
Yes.
So on, so on.
Yes.
But the ground is prepared for struggle. The monks do it, you follow, sir? The religious people do it. The business, the artist, the painter, everybody, human being, however compartmentalized he is in battle. And that we call living. And a man looks at it, intelligent man, says, for God's sake, that's not the way to live. Let's find out if there is a different way of living. And nobody asks. I have talked to, I mean, great many politicians all over the world, and to great many gurus. We'll come to that. It's a very interesting, that word, what it means. We'll go into that. And I've talked to artists, to businessmen, to artisans, to laborers, very, very, very poor people.